Hello guys, and welcome to this video. In this video we're gonna build a custom Elementor element or widget, whatever you want to call it. Now in order to do so we need to have Elementor installed. Obviously, if you don't have Elementor installed, please go to plugins, add new, and search for Elementor. Now Elementor page builder is what we're looking for. If you don't have that installed, please go ahead and install it and activate it. Okay. Now in order to demonstrate this, we're going to need to have a page to work with. Okay, so I'm going to create a test page called example. Okay, now on the side here you see all these Elementor widgets. Now what if you're looking for something that doesn't exist here, something more custom? Then you would need to write some code. Okay, now in order to do so, I've created a folder in my child theme called custom widgets, and in that folder I have two files, mywidgets.php and widget1.php. Now let's go over these files and see what they do. Okay, mywidgets.php is basically a class here that registers and calls your widgets. Think of this as a way between Elementor and your widgets. Here we have the name of the widget file we have here, widget1. Now let's say you have 10 widgets. It wouldn't be practical to repeat all this code, so what you would do is basically require them here, widget 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say, and then you would register them here. Okay, now that's all this file does. All the custom code that you need is going to the widget file itself, which in this case is widget1.php. Okay, now here is a class called mywidget1, which is anything you want, that extends the Elementor class widget base. Okay, now this can be changed. This comes from Elementor, and in this class we have a couple of functions we need to go through. Okay, the first one is name. Now this is the name of the widget, it's not the title, don't get confused. The title that you see in Elementor is this one, get title. Now here you can put anything you want, and that would be the title in Elementor. Here we have an icon, which also takes font awesome icons, so you can put an icon here, and that's what you would see in Elementor. And categories is where your widget is basically categorized. In this case is basic, we've put it in the basic category. And then we have controls. Okay, now controls is for anything that is going to be dynamic, let's say anything like input fields and of that such needs to be a control. Okay, now the first thing we have here is a section title, and I've called it content. Okay, now after that we have a title, and the label of it is title. That's what you see in Elementor. Okay, and the type is text. In the placeholder we have enter your title, and in the next one is pretty much the same, except it's subtitle and subtitle here, and then the type is again text and the placeholder is subtitle. Then we have a link, which I've called link, and the label is also link. The type is URL, as you can see, and in the placeholder we have yourlink.com, and the default URL is nothing. You could put a default URL here if you wanted. I don't want to do it right now. So that's basically it for the controls. There are many controls, you can see them all in Elementor controls here. You have text, number, text area, what you see is what you get, code, hidden, whatever. There are many things here that you can read. Okay, now in this case we don't need more than this, so we're gonna end the control section and we're gonna get into the fun part. Okay, now here we have render. What this does is basically render everything to the screen, the website. So what you echo here is what your widget returns basically. Okay, now in this case we have settings, it gets all the display settings, so it gets all these controls. Okay, now we have a variable here called URL, which is basically settings link URL, which basically grabs the URL from here, from this control called link. Okay, and then we have some HTML. You could essentially just echo this out. You don't need to put it into a variable. I'll just put it that way so it's easier for us to manage it. Okay, here we have a tag with a URL that goes to the URL that we put in. Okay, then we have a div class called title. Okay, and that grabs the settings title, which is this control here. And then we have settings subtitle, which grabs this control here. Now this is all pretty simple, pretty easy, and all we need to do now after we have this and my widgets file is basically call this file from functions.php. Okay, now what we need to do is require once, and we need the path to that file, my widgets .php. Okay, now that's all we need for Elementor to recognize this and load the widget. Now let's see if that worked. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. And as you can see here, we have a new widget called title and subtitle. If we drop it here and give it a title of my title, my subtitle, and here we can give it a link, https twitter.com. Okay, go ahead and publish this and have a look. Now as you can see, it output the title that we put in, the subtitle, and the link is also clickable, which takes us to twitter.com. Okay, now that's all for this video. I hope you learned how to create your own widgets and how you can go ahead and use more controls than what we demonstrated here, because there are really too many for us to go through. But this is just to give you the basic idea of how a widget is created and how it's loaded into Elementor. Okay guys, thank you for watching and have a nice day.